מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה לי, יאללה לי, 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 לי. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה לי, יאללה לי, לי, לי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Excellent over here. The response is Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you so much. Welcome to Temple Emanu-El. Whether you've been here before or this is your very first time, we're thrilled that you are here to pray with us. I'm Rabbi Rachel. Of course, Hannah is up here on the occasion of becoming a bat mitzvah this afternoon, and Jessica Tillum is our cantorial soloist. Friends, throughout the service, we'll be using this black siddur. This is our prayer book. It goes right to left. Everything that is in Hebrew, you'll find there's transliteration, English letters that tell you what we're doing. There's also English translation for everything. There are times when it's responsive prayers, responsive readings. We would love for you to join in with us. And as always, we believe God hears snaps, claps, and la-las too. So this is meant to be a participatory service. The more you give to us, the more Hannah gives to you, and we create a beautiful prayer energy in this room this afternoon. If you haven't had a chance yet, please make sure that Apple Watches are stilled, that your phones are on silent. There should be no photography during the service. We're on live stream, so hello to anybody joining us online. So you can always screenshot a picture from there. So please keep those phones away, and if you do need to do something on your phone, we just ask that you step out of the sanctuary. Speaking of which, you can do that going through the door over there. There's a door over there, and doors behind us as well if needed. The last piece is, how many people, is this your first time at a bar or bat mitzvah? Okay, wonderful, hands down. Let's say you've been to 10 before. 10 or more? Okay, 20? 50? 100? Okay, all right. So whether this is your first or you've been to many, we're so excited that you are here. Please take a second. Excuse me, hold on. Okay, please take a second, turn to somebody you did not drive here with. Introduce yourself. Hello, my name is Shabbat Shalom, and we'll join back.
Hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Ya la 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 la. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad.
So friends, we are in the month of Elul, and that is the Hebrew month that leads into Tishrei, which is the Hebrew month that kicks off Rosh Hashanah. So throughout the month of Elul, we're supposed to hear the sounding of the shofar, a ram's horn, or this one is an antelope horn. And so I want everybody at the end of this prayer to respond amen. It's the commandment to hear the sound of the shofar. So it's Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu mitzvotav v'tzivanu lishmoa kol shofar. Amen. And repeat after me, Tekiah.
Tekiah.
And now, You ready for a talit? So we're on page 4 in our prayer books. And this is the moment in which Hannah is about to receive formally her talit. This is her prayer shawl, which she could not publicly wear before today. It is a symbol of being a Jewish adult in the community. And so Max and Julie are going to present her with this talit. And again, we are on page 4. You guys are right here. Why don't you hold that? I'll move over here. Go ahead.
As this talit is draped around your shoulders, may the voices of the generations speak to you. May you know that there is a people, a rich heritage to which you belong, a sacred place from which you are connected to all who dwell on earth.
As you are embraced in the folds of this talit, so too are you wrapped in the loving embrace of your family, community, and this holy congregation. May this simplest of garments always be for you a symbol of God's abiding and sheltering presence.
As you recite the blessing and wrap yourself in this talit, we proudly watch and celebrate with you as you accept your place in the chain of our tradition.
All right, so now you'll do your blessing. Amen. All right, so we get together for lots of reasons, lots of different gatherings. This one is really special, and so we thank God for reaching this moment in time. Mom and Dad, stay up here for one more prayer. Shechianu at the bottom of the page.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh.
Turn around, give some hugs. And then, friends, we are going to be on page 5 as Hannah leads us in the prayer on becoming a bat mitzvah.
God be with me on this occasion as I become bat mitzvah. Help me make meaningful of the covenant you now establish with me. Sustain me with a sense of holiness and inspire me to desire to be special. I do not ask that you make my life easy, resolve my problems, or map out the direction of my life. I only ask that you strengthen within me to mold and shape my life in accordance with your will. In this hour of my bat mitzvah, I invoke your blessings upon my parents and friends, all who have loved and cared for me, all who have brought me to this time of gladness. Give them joy, fulfillment, and my growth and achievement, who turn to the hearts of children to parents and hearts of parents to children.
Amen. And then on page 6, we have that first blessing that is a responsive prayer, so you'll come in on the italics. This is a prayer for the congregation, and the opening is a reminder, Hannah, that we want this to be a welcoming place, and you are a blessing to us in this community because you are always that welcoming face for us. Page 6. Give a cough drop.
May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May this synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
Amen. On page 11, we have our prayer of Ashrei. This is one of our afternoon prayers. We say it in the morning as well. And Hannah, this is a prayer all about how to be happy. Except it's really hard when somebody just looks at you and says, hey, Hannah, be happy. Just be happy. Why can't you just be happy? Right? Nobody likes that. Nobody wants to be told, just be happy. We want to be told, what are the different ways that we can find happiness? How do we bring happiness into the world? And so Ashrei is a prayer that guides us in that happiness. So we'll start on page 11.
Ashrei ha'am shekach lo, Ashrei ha'am sh'Adonai Elohav. B'chol yom avarchecha, v'yahala shimcha le'olam va'ed. Dor the door yishabach ma'asecha, ukbarotecha yagidu. Ve'ezuz noratecha yomeru, ukduletecha asaprena. Chanun v'rachum Adonai, erech apayim ukdol chesed. Yoduch Adonai kol ma'asecha, v'chasidecha yevarchucha.
Lehodia lifnei hadam gvurotav, ukvod hadar malchuto.
Somech Adonai l'chol hanoflim, v'zokef l'chol hakfufim.
Poteach et yadecha, umaspia lechol chai ratzon. Karov Adonai lechol korav, lechol asher yekra'uhu ve'emet. Shomer Adonai et kol havav, ve'et kol harshayim yashmid. Va'anachnu nivarech ya, me'ata ve'ad olam, hallelujah. We rise for our Baruch Hu, page 15.
Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Yai na nai 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 nai. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorah. Baruch Adonai
Hamevorah, Hamevorah, le'olam va'ed. Hamevorah, Hamevorah, le'olam va'ed.
We'll remain standing. On page 16 and 17, we have our prayers of creation. As this is an evening service, we're on page 17. We have our prayer of Ma'ariv Aravim, where we're asking God to bring on the evening and for rolling in this darkness upon us. And it's a reminder to us that times do get dark, and then the day turns and it will be light again, and that is the cycle of life, that there will be darkness in life and there will be light, and that we work with God as co-creators to try to work through the darkness and bring more light. Ma'ariv Aravim, page 17. And we'll turn 2 pages over to Ahavat Olam, thanking God for God's everlasting love for us. Hannah. And so we bring out our voices once more with Shema, page 21. Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto,
Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated. Page 22. Hannah, last night you led Ve'ahavta, yes? So that was your last time leading as a child of the congregation. Today, you are draped in a talit. You are in this space of becoming an adult in our community as you lead us in prayer today. As you'll read from the Torah in just a few minutes, give or take. And in doing so, you fulfill these words of Ve'ahavta. So this is another prayer where it's like, hey, just go out there and love God. Okay, thanks, Torah. You're telling me love God, but how? How do I love God with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my might? Well, the good news is this one tells us about it. It says you love God when you go out there and you teach commandments, when you go out there and you talk about all of this with your children. And so you're still a child in your parents' home, but you become an adult in this community with lots of little kids running around. You've been one of those little kids running around here for a long time. And what happens now on Sundays is you transition from being one of the kids in the community to one of the teachers, one of the people that the kids are going to look at and say, wow, Hannah is teaching me Hebrew. Hannah is teaching me Judaism. Hannah is teaching me how to be a better person. And so we are so honored that you get to be part of our community in that way as you lead us in Ve'ahavta, page 22. Et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha, uvechol meodecha, vehayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, veshinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, beshivtecha beveitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, Jochbecha uvkumecha, leot al yadecha, behayu letotafot bein einecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha,
uvisharecha, leman tizkeru, vasitem et kol mitotai, vitem kedashim l'Elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim le'yot lachem l'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
On page 23, if Amy and Gabe Shapiro will come on up to help lead us in this responsive prayer as we get ready for Michamocha, which will be our next prayer, and is a prayer of redemption and freedom.
Adonai our God, you took us out of slavery in Egypt. You made us free.
Together, you were in the courage with which we overcame 40 years of desert wandering.
Even today, you are in the hope that, like a beam of light, brightens the darkness of suffering and despair.
You are in the love that creates, protects, forgives.
Standing at the sea, we felt your goodness and your love, and we sang a new song to you. And still today, we sing that song.
We praise you, Adonai, Redeemer of Israel. Thank you both. Page 25, Michamocha.
Adonai lo leolam vaed. Adonai lo leolam vaed.
Friends, starting on page 26 and going into page 27, we have our Amidah, our Avot v'Imahot, and our Givurot. And Hannah, an important part about this prayer is that when it talks about the Avot and Imahot, it's Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov. It's the God of, the God of, the God of. And it doesn't just say God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, but there's that God piece before each of the matriarchs and the patriarchs. And the reason it does that is because in every generation, the Jewish people have always had a different relationship with God. And so when we chant this prayer, we recognize that we are now the next generation in a chain of tradition. And so we have our own relationship with God that we are also crafting to this day. So we rise for our Amidah, page 26. They're both working.
Adonai sevaitav tifta ufia gita hilateha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagedol Hagibor B'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim Nechane Hakol, Vezoher Hasdei Avo V'Imahot, Umevi Gula Lifnei V'Nehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Mela Ozer Moshiach Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol Atah V'Al V'Yoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechakel Chaim Behesed, Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Zonech Noflim Verofei Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umehaye Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Mikamo Chabal Givurot, Umidomela, Melech Memit, Umechaye, Umasmi of Yeshua, V'neman atal hayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai,
Mechaye hakol. Beautiful. And if Erica and Ashley Howe will come on up to lead us in this many are the ways, this prayer of holiness. Do you want to hold it? Go ahead.
Many are the ways of holiness, varied are its paths.
There is holiness when we strive to be true to the best we know.
There is holiness when we are kind to others.
There is holiness when we strive for harmony in all of our relationships.
There is holiness when people of different backgrounds work together for a common future.
There is holiness when people seek justice and struggle for righteousness.
There is holiness when people create lasting poetry or song or philosophy.
There is holiness when we forget what divides us and remember what unites us.
Holy, holy, holy is
Adonai the Eternal.
I knew it.
Nailed it. Thank you. Our prayer of Kedusha, page 30.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהלוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated, except for Lauren and Lisa Howe. If you'll come up for our prayer, the unique gift. And Miss Joanne, if I could get another one of those. It seems to be working, whatever's happening to me up here. Right at the top, yep. Go ahead and hold that. Thank you.
From of old, the Jewish people have seen Shabbat as a unique gift, a token of his
Covenant.
covenant with God.
Shabbat is the most cherished creation of the Jewish spirit. It mirrors the essence of the Jewish soul.
Shabbat has never been merely a day of rest from labor. It's always been a break from the routine of everyday life.
Shabbat is a symbol of liberation and triumph, of the holy over the profane, of spirit over matter.
In every age, Shabbat afforded the Jew a sacred retreat, a haven of safety, a foundation of new strength, and perpetual renewal.
Shabbat nurtures family life in love and harmony. A home at peace welcomes Shabbat with joy.
Shabbat is a part of nature's design, the very purpose of creation. All that was created attained its fulfillment in Shabbat.
Shabbat is our hope, the calm haven where all the weary find rest. With the coming of Shabbat, redemption and peace enter the world. Thank you. Our prayer for Shabbat, Yismechu, page 31.
ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. מקדשי שבי שבת, כולם ישבעו ויתענגו משובך שבת. ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ובשביעי רצית בו וקידשו שבת, חמדת ימים אותו קראת שבת. ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. זכר למעשה בראשית שבת, זכר למעשה בראשית שבת. ישמחו במלאכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת.
And ahead of our prayer for peace and ahead of our silent prayer, we have our prayer, the gift of peace. If Kenzie Davies and Francis Solomon will come up.
Our God, we know there is no greater gift than peace. Help us find the peace that comes from the love of your Torah.
Inspire us to banish hatred, war, bloodshed, and bigotry. Help us to establish forever one human family, doing your will in love and peace.
Help us find the peace in ourselves and among all people. O God of peace, bless us with peace.
You have given us the power, O God, to bring peace and justice into the world. May we always love peace and pursue it, and love our fellow creatures. Fill us with kindness, wisdom, and love. Then shall we learn to live in peace.
Blessed is God, teacher of peace.
Thank you. That's so nice. All right, friends, so we take a few moments for silent prayer and meditation, and we'll join back together with Shalom Rav in just a moment on page 34.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol eit ubechol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
On page 36, Julie and Max, if you'll come up to offer this special prayer, a parent's blessing, page 36. Come a little closer.
May you live to see your world fulfilled. May your destiny be for worlds still to come, and may you trust in generations past and yet to be.
May your heart be filled with intuition and your words be filled with insight. May your songs of praise ever be upon your tongue and your vision be on a straight path before you.
May your eyes shine with light of holy words and your face reflect the brightness of the heavens. May your lips ever speak wisdom and your fulfillment be in righteousness.
A Jewish home opens its heart and its link to the generations is proclaimed. Today, nearly grown, you are called to read from the Torah and are welcomed into the congregation.
May this moment be blessed.
Amen. Wonderful. All right, so you guys stay up here. So friends, we've been working in our service this afternoon, building up an ark on the way to our Torah service. So now come lots of moving parts and lots of names. So the Torah service begins on page 38, if you want to turn there now. Opening our ark will be Rita and Frank Weisner, so if you can come be by our ark doors, but don't open them yet. And then if Megan Yuso and Saren Shapiro could come stand near Jessica to prepare for undressing the Torah. We have Miss Joanne Lipschitz, who is the cough drop getter and also our gabbai. And then if grandparents Fran Bernath and Leo and Mary Shapiro could come forward for our Generations of Torah. And we recall in loving spirit at this time, Harold Bernath as well. If everybody, as they find their places, if the community will please rise.
Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, Udvar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael, b'kedushato.
I'm just deciding which Torah looks like the best today. Just kidding, I just picked up the wrong one. Okay. All right, so Hannah, look out. This is a big part of your crew, huh? People who really love you and are here to support you. You can give them a wave. It's polite. Yep. You can wave back, everyone. Yeah, it's also polite. So, Hannah, this is a really big deal. A lot of moving things had to happen in life, in the universe, in the world for you to be here today. Not just the preparations, but in your own family. So take a look. You got mom and dad, grandma, grandpa. We see over shoulders a missing grandpa. We see a great-great-grandparent, great-grandparent, great-great-great-great-great-great-great. Yeah? So many generations wrapping around this space so that you can be here today, here with your community. And so what we do here is we take a moment to honor that and to pass the Torah, quite literally from generation to generation. So we give it just a little hug.
Lador vador nagid God lecha. Lador vador, we protect this chain. From generation to generation. Lador vador, these lips will praise your name.
And we'll continue with words of Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai Tiumo Rama, Shemo Yachdav, Lecha Adonai Hagedula v'hagivura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod ki chol b'shemayim uvaretz ki chol b'shemayim uvaretz Lecha Adonai hamamlacha v'amid na'aseh lechol erosh. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lechar kodsho. Romimu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu lechar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romimu. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai
As the ark doors come closed, you may be seated. Shabbat Shalom. So a fun fact about this day, this is my Torah portion. So when I became a bat mitzvah a couple of years ago, this was the Torah portion that I had. So we're in Parashat Nitzavim. So we're nearing the very end of the book of Deuteronomy, because on Simchat Torah we will finish it and start again, and that is just around the corner. And Hannah will have a chance to teach us more about this beautiful story that happens here in our Torah portion in a little bit. But first she's going to chant for us. And so if you'd like to follow along in the chanting, you'll want to reach under your chair and find the prayer book, rather the Torah. So if it says the Torah, it's the wrong one, or the right one. And if it says anything but the Torah, it's the wrong one. So you want to pick up the blue book that says Torah. So my front row. Yep, wrong one. And if you don't have the Torah under there, that's also a possibility, but you can look on with a friend or check another seat nearby. And once you have the Torah, you want to open up to page 1537. So on page 1537, that'll get you to Deuteronomy chapter 29, verses 9 through 20, which is what Hannah's going to be chanting for us this morning. Do you have your spot? She does. Great. Beautiful. All right, so that gets us ready for our first aliyah. Blessings for the aliyot can be found on page 40 in your black siddur. So proud grandparents are going to come up for this aliyah. So Fran Bernath, Leo, and Mary Shapiro. Yamdu, Sephora bat Mordechai, Label ben Mordechai, Miriam bat Sarah, the aliyah. Reaches. Good. And I have the blessing over here. So Leo, if you want to take your talit, give a little touch and kiss right there. And who's our lead? Leah. Oops, she's running away.
Yeah.
So hold that by your mouth.
Baruch
Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher borcha bonu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ladies, you get some credit too. Y'all were singing. I love that. All right, so all three of you come on close so one of you can hold.
Atem nitzavim hayom kulhem lifnei Adonai Elohehem Rashehem Shivtehem Ziknehem Veshorehem Kol Ish Israel Tabehem Neshehem Begereha Asher Bekerev Machanecha Mehotev Eitecha Had Shoev Meimecha Le'ovraha Bivrit Adonai Elohecha Uvalato Asher Adonai Elohecha Koreti Maha Hayom.
Beautiful. All right, Leo, one more with your talit there. Can you hold? In the bottom prayer.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam notah b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Beautiful hugs. All right, and so for our second aliyah, proud sister Sadie Shapiro. Tama Tira Bat Michel V'Golda Chaya la'aliyah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And just hold this.
Amen. Lema'an hakim ota hayom lo le'am vehu yihielaha le'elohim ka'asher tiber lach ve'ha'asher nishba la'avotecha la'avracha le'tak u'Yaakov ve'lo yitem levadahem anohi koreit et habrit hazot ve'et hala hazot ki et asher yeshno po Emanu-El made hayom lifnei Adonai Eloheinu ve'et asher einanu po Emanu hayom.
Beautiful.
Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'toheinu. Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Thank you, Sadie. Beautiful. And of course, now proud parents Julie and Max Shapiro. Yamdu Golda Chaya Bat Chaim V'Sephora Mechol Ben Label Miriam La'aliyah. Hold on. Take your talit. A little touch. Kiss and bless.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notain haTorah.
Amen. All right, and then when you hold here.
Amen. Ki altem yedaltem et asher yashavnu be'eretz Mitzrayim ve'et asher avarnu be'kerev hagoyim asher avartem v'tir'u et shikutzehem ve'et gelulehem et va'even kesef ve'zahav asher imahem pen yesh bahem ish o isha o mishpaha o shevet asher levavo foneh hayom me'im Adonai Elohecha lalehet lavod et Elohei hagoyim hahem pen yesh bahem shoresh porei rosh v'la'ana.
Beautiful. Your telly deacon.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye olam nata betoheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Perfect. All right, and so Hannah, you get to go take a seat for a second because you haven't had a seat all afternoon. And so the reason we have Hannah take a seat, even though she's been reading from Torah, is that she is in this liminal space where she's been kind of an adult in the community, but not exactly officially, but officially enough that she's been able to read Torah for us so far. But now is the true moment where she becomes bat mitzvah. Because when you're called to an aliyah, it's a physical going up. And so we want her to be seated because she was already standing up here. And then there's a spiritual component to it. It's a spiritual elevation that occurs when being called to the Torah as bat mitzvah. And so that is what we get to do for Hannah now. So come on up. Tamad chaya bat mecha v'goda chaya la'aliyah.
Baruch et Adonai hamvorah.
Baruch Adonai v'rach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch
Adonai hamvorah. Baruch Adonai hamvorah le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim benatan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Bechaya beshom o et divrei halal hazot vehit barech biovavo lemur shalom yihye li ki bishriru libi elech leman sufot havarva et hatmeya lo yoveh Adonai Seloach lo ki az yeshan af Adonai v'kinato ba'ish hahu v'rata bo kol ha'alal haktuva b'sefer hazeh umaha Adonai et shemo mitahat hashemayim v'hivdilo Adonai lera'ah mikol shivtei Israel kehol alot habrit haktuva besefer haTorah hazeh.
Beautiful, Hannah. Oh, that was awesome.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chaye ochlam nata betoheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Way to go, Hannah. Because what you can't see down there is that in a Torah scroll, there are no vowels, there are no pretty colors, nothing to help guide her other than knowing the Hebrew letters, having put in a lot of hours of study to be able to read Enchanted as smoothly and as beautifully as she did today. So it's no easy thing to do. And as your tutor, I'm like super proud. So very proud. All right, so mom and dad on each side. So with the Torah in our midst, I'm on page 41 if you want to follow along. We have a special Misha Berach for Hannah's spiritual growth. You don't worry about it. Misha Berach Avotenu ve'imotenu Avraham Yitzchak ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel ve'Leah Hu Yivarech et Chaya bat Michal ve'Golda Chaya Shehigia lemitzvot v'alta laTorah HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yishmerecha v'choyecha v'chonen et libach Liot shalem im Adonai Elohecha La'agot b'torato la'lechet b'drachav v'lishmor mitzvotav V'timsachem v'seichel tov be'einei Elohim ve'adam v'nomar Amen.
Amen.
Which means, may the God who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless you, Hannah, because you have come for an aliyah upon the age of mitzvot. May the Holy One guard you and sustain you, helping you to be wholehearted in your faith, studying God's Torah, walking in God's ways, and fulfilling God's mitzvot. May you find favor before God and before all people. And together we say, Amen. All right, guys, hugs, and you head down. We're going to turn to page 42 as we dress the Torah. If Josephine and Rosalie Shapiro will come forward. Page 42, please rise.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. יללי לי 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 Yai nai 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 Yai nai 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 Ya la nai 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 Yai nai 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 Ya nai 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 Yai nai 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 Ya nai 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 nai.
As the Torah comes to a rest, you may be seated. So far this morning, Hannah has, let me fix this for you. Led us in prayer. She has read from our sacred scroll, from our Torah. And now she is going to also be our teacher of Torah. So she spent a long time studying and talking about what the Torah portion means, what it means to her, and what it can mean to us.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My Torah portion is Nitzavim from the book of Deuteronomy. This portion takes place at the end of the Torah. It has been nearly 40 years since the Israelites left Egypt and reached Mount Sinai. The Israelites are now just a few weeks away from entering the Promised Land. As Moses neared his last day of life, he gathered the Israelites to give them a speech. They are very close to the Jordan River, and once they cross the river, they'll be in Israel. At the edge of the Promised Land, Moses reminds the Israelites to follow the agreement with God, known as the covenant. Moses tells them once again that if they choose not to worship God and choose to worship idols like other nations, then they will be punished. He adds that if they decide to worship God and follow God's rules and laws, that they will be rewarded. They will see those rewards by having animals that thrive, crops that grow, and they'll have lots of children. Moses says that his instructions are not confusing or out of reach, that you don't have to climb a mountain or cross a river to be part of the covenant. Instead, it's just in your heart and mouth. There are many lessons in my Torah portion. The one I connect with most is the lesson that we don't have to be special to have a covenant. Everyone in the Jewish community can have a relationship with God. As stated at the beginning of the Torah portion, Moses addresses everyone, from elders to children, from woodchopper to water drawer, even a stranger. everyone is included. I think this is important that everyone is included because we should all have a chance to have a relationship with God. It is not just one type of person or class of people. It doesn't matter if you're Reform, Conservative, Orthodox, or Jewish. Judaism allows people to create their own relationship with God. Back then, the Israelites connected to God in many of the same ways we do today. For example, observing Shabbat, following ethical rules like respecting your parents, and many other Jewish traditions. For me, I connect with God when I sing prayers, whether it's at Friday night services, tefillah at Sunday school, or just doing Shabbat at home by lighting candles, blessing grape juice, and making the challah. Then I get to eat with my family. I always want everyone to feel included and never feel left out or not important, because that's not a fun feeling. This is why I like the example set by my school. My school has no-cut sports teams so that people have a chance to grow and not feel left out. It is really important to me that everyone is included in activities at camp, Sunday school, or school recess. If I notice someone sitting alone, I try to invite them to hang out with me and my friend group. I also never want people to feel left out of after-school parties or events. That's why I invited my whole grade from Galloway, my whole Sunday school class from here, and my whole dance team to celebrate with me today. Just as Moses said that being a part of the covenant shouldn't be confusing or out of reach, and that we shouldn't have to climb a mountain or cross rivers to get to it. I think that we can all do our part to make everyone feel included in our community in the future. Beginning today as a Jewish adult, I am planning for Judaism to play an active role in my life. I will continue to celebrate Shabbat at home or at temple with my family because it's important to me that I pause my week and sing prayers with my friends and family. I also plan to stay involved in the Temple Emanu-El community by baking oneg, which is the dessert after Friday night services, and helping with the hamantash and bake because I love baking and I want to contribute to my community. Another way Judaism will play a part in my life is when I'm in high school, I will join BBYO, which is a Jewish youth group. I look forward to bonding with my Jewish peers locally and on BBYO trips. The Jewish value that is important to me is simcha, which means happiness or joy. This value means celebrating on special occasions, appreciating small pleasures, and happy feelings from doing good deeds. I have demonstrated this value by celebrating becoming a bat mitzvah and sharing something good that happened in my week at Friday night services. I will continue to celebrate happy occasions and holidays. Do mitzvot because it makes me feel happy, and I will continue to celebrate smaller happy moments in life. At some point in my life, I look forward to visiting Israel and find out what it feels like to be there. I don't have any family that lives there, but it is our homeland because that's where our Jewish ancestors live. When I finally go there, I hope to do all the touristy things like float in the Dead Sea, visit the Western Wall, and try new foods. Tikkun Olam means repairing the world. To our family, Tikkun Olam means doing small acts of kindness. For example, we give tzedakah and pack lunches for Mary Hall Freedom. Tikkun Olam relates to my Torah portion because in my Torah portion, when Moses is giving a speech, he addresses it to everybody. Moses says that anybody can have a covenant with God the same way anyone can do Tikkun Olam, which is giving back to the community. This reminded my dad of a Martin Luther King quote that says, "Everybody can be great because everybody can serve." For my mitzvah project, I baked and sold meringue cookies and chocolate toffee bark. With the money I raised, I gave it to Our Giving Garden. The reason I chose Our Giving Garden is because I wanted an organization that didn't just buy food to give to the people in need. I wanted a place that grew food to give away because in my Torah portion, it says that if you choose to have a covenant, you will be rewarded with your crops to grow. I was moved to learn that Our Giving Garden is a pantry full of food that anyone can come and get for free without even having to share their name. There are so many people I would like to thank, but I only have so much time. So first, I would like to thank my friends for supporting me, Rabbi Rachel, who have helped me through this entire process. I would not be here without you. And also our cantorial soloist, Jessica, for being here with her beautiful voice. I would like to thank my grandma Mimi for always, and when I mean always, I'm not exaggerating. Thank you for always coming to my chorus, dance, and musicals. I would also like to thank my other grandparents, Mama and Baba, for finding time to come visit us in Atlanta. I also look forward to our FaceTime calls every Sunday and our annual family trips. Now I want to thank my sister. There are so many things I could say. We could be here all night, but I just have to cut it down. You are the best sister ever. I'm so glad we never fight. Thank you so much for taking me to the mall and Target like literally every single week. Driving me to school, watching Love Island in the summer I Turned Pretty with me, also just hanging out with me all the time, and letting me borrow your clothes. I love watching and laughing about old videos of us vlogging our trips and playing Legos. I miss playing with Legos like they were real people and playing on our playground outside with you. I can't thank you enough. I love you, and I'm going to miss you so much when you go to college. Next, I want to thank my mom. You are literally the best mom ever. You are always there for me, especially these last 2 months have been very stressful and tiring, and you have done so much for me. I also want to thank you for driving me to friends' houses and hosting pool parties at our house. Thank you for making dinner and baking us treats for breakfast. I enjoy trying new recipes and baking with you. I don't know what I would do without you. Thank you so much. Next, I want to thank my dad. There are so many things you do for me, but I want to start with always making me laugh, filling up my water when I'm too tired, and picking me up from dance and volleyball. Speaking of volleyball, I love when we go outside and bop around the volleyball until it gets dark. You are the nicest dad ever. I love you so much. Finally, thank everyone for celebrating with me. I can't wait to party after this. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We have certainly heard from a young woman of our community bringing us so much light and Torah into this space this afternoon. And so now she's moving from one thing to the next because in addition to our Torah reading today, she has prepared a Haftorah. And so if everyone will turn to page 56, yes, take a few breaths. On page 56 is where you'll find her Haftorah reading. So she'll be chanting verses 10 and 11. And this is from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 33. And like I said, verses 10 and 11. And it speaks to that gladness as well that you spoke of earlier in your Devar Torah. And so hold a finger there because you'll want to go back in your prayer book to page 42 for our Haftorah blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar bin v'im tovim v'ratza b'divrehem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai haboher b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo uv'inviei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Page 56.
Ko amar Adonai od yishma b'makom hazeh asher atem omrim harev hu me'ein adam u'me'ein behema. Be'arev Yehuda uv'hutzo Yerushalayim hanshamot me'ein adam u'me'ein yoshev u'me'ein behema. Kol sason be'kol simha kol hatan be'kol kala kol omrim hodu Adonai Sevaot ki tov Adonai ki leolam hasto Meve'im todam beit Adonai ki ashiv et shut haaretz ki verishona amar Adonai.
Beautiful, page 43.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzor kol haolamim sadik bechol hadarot Ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber kayim shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu anachnu Likdusha v'limnuha lechavod ultifaret Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim la umavarhim ota yitbarashim ha befi kol hai tamid leolam va'ed baruch ata Adonai
Baruch hu Baruch Shema.
Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Woo! Beautiful, beautiful. All right, she's done with like the really big stuff. Friends, so having completed our Torah and Haftorah readings, but with Torah still in our midst, we turn to offer prayers for our country and for Israel on page 44. We'll all turn to page 44 and join together. O God, we invoke your blessing upon our country, the United States of America, as we strive to be a beacon of light in a darkening world. Sustain us during times of uncertainty, guard us from calamity and injury. Give us the courage to confront evil. Enlighten us with your wisdom, and sustain with your power those whom the people have granted authority, the President, their advisors, and all who are entrusted with our safety. May peace and goodwill, courage, understanding, and hope prevail among all the inhabitants of our land. May goodness spread its blessings among us and exalt our nation in righteousness. And together we say, Amen. Avinu Shabbat Shamayim, a prayer for peace of Israel, page 45. Avinu Shabbat Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go'alo, Arechet Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Smicha Ge'ulateinu. Together in the English. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. Avinu Shabbat Shamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'go'alo, Arechet Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Simcha Ge'ulateinu. Stephanie Mahan and Lori Rubin will come up to open our ark. If the congregation will rise, we'll return our Torah to the ark, page 45. Page 45. It's okay. Down here at the bottom.
Eitz chaim hi lama chazikim ba v'tomcheha meushar deracheya darchei noam v'chol netivotecha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem. Close the doors. All the way inside. Thank you. Please be seated. And Hannah, you're going to come up here. That's why she's taking it. This is the part where I get to talk to you. So Hannah, we've gotten to spend a lot of time together. Number one, you've been amazing at showing up for all your requirements, of course. And it is random when you can come, like it might not be me there, but I felt like it was me a lot, so that was nice.
Then we had, the whole year of 6th grade last year, and then all of this time together this year. And Hannah, I got to tell you, people have been talking behind your back. Every single person who encounters you in this place, the one thing they say is they turn to you and they go, she's so sweet. She's so sweet. She's so nice. Anytime you leave a room, somebody in the office, that's what they turn to me and say. They just go, that Hannah, she's just so nice. We need more of that in the world. Can you imagine if after every single person in this world left a room, people turned around and said, they're so nice, how much better of a world we would be in? So just that alone, if you just kept bringing that into the world where you leave a room and people go, she's so nice, like Dianu, that would be enough. And at the same time, I know you're more than just nice. You're a little spicy. You aren't usually the loudest person in the room, but if you have something to say, you're usually willing to bring that forward. And it's almost always very thoughtful. You've thought about what you want to say before you say it. And it's oftentimes for a greater understanding, and maybe, dare I say, because of the classes that we've been in together, a higher purpose. That when you engage in conversation with people, I'm not talking about like the little mundane convos we have with our girlfriends, but when you're having serious talk, you're really in it. You're really there to want to learn and expand your knowledge and have a deeper understanding. And when you don't understand, you get really frustrated, rightfully so. Why do you get frustrated? Because you want to understand. And that's so very Jewish of you, to want to wrestle with knowledge and to want to wrestle with conflict and to want to wrestle with the things that you don't know. That's an amazing piece of you, to want to engage in that wrestling. And every time you stand up here on that bima, you're below a Ner Tamid, our eternal light, and it's really hard to make out, and you certainly can't see it from here, but on it, it says Yisrael, because it's supposed to be this depiction of Jacob wrestling with the angel when he becomes Yisrael, one who struggles with God. So you are part of a legacy, of a heritage, of an ancient tradition where struggling with God, struggling with questions, those are all things we're supposed to do essentially all the time. And what's beautiful about it is that it's okay to be in the struggle and to engage in hard conversations for a higher purpose, to want to learn more, to want to just be a good person in the world. And at the end of the day, even if you leave a conversation still confused, keep being the person who asks questions, and keep being the person that when you leave the room, people behind your back go, she's so sweet. So always keep bringing that sweetness, okay? You're welcome. Come a little closer. I'll put a hand on a shoulder so we can offer you a special blessing. May God bless you and always keep you safe. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious to you. And wherever life's journey takes you, may you have your feet on the ground, your shoulders back, and your head high, and may you know God's most important gift, the gift of peace. And together we say, Amen. Amen. All right, Mom and Dad, I think you have some words to share as well. Get nice and close to Mom and Dad.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. We are grateful to our friends, family, and fellow congregants for sharing this night with us. We want to thank Temple Emanu-El, clergy, and staff for their support and preparation of this bat mitzvah, especially Rabbi Rachel for all of her patience and guidance. Ready? Okay. My baby. I wrote this speech last minute. Very, very last minute. And it's not because I was procrastinating, and it's not because I was busy with other less important bat mitzvah details. It's because I just couldn't find the words. I can't believe we're here It feels like just yesterday you were a tiny face with no freckles, my little Hannah B. It is pretty widely known that I still refer to you as my baby. I reference your sweet voice and your very youthful and doughy skin, and to this day, I still tell people that you have toddler feet. But as it turns out, you have actually grown up right here, hidden in plain sight. You are a beautiful, smart, and kind young lady with the biggest heart. You are a loving and devoted member of this family, and you bring out the best in everyone. Seeing you and Sadie doing TikTok dances and transitions, or just taking largely unnecessary and very frequent trips to Target together, will always warm my heart. The bond that you two have is one of my greatest joys. My Hannah, you are a force. You have all the big feelings, and you work hard to do whatever you set your mind to. Anyone in your orbit can see the passion that you put into your relationships, dance, school, volleyball, chorus, and everything you do. I hate that I have to share you with these things, but seeing you take the stage as a solo dancer or to play 2 straight volleyball games without getting subbed out is a testament to your hard work. I know all parents stand up here and they look at their daughter on Bima in her bat mitzvah dress and her sparkly high heels, and they declare their amazement and pride. Tonight is no different. I am so proud of you. The work that you did to get here today, to become an adult in the congregation, is awe-inspiring. May you remain deeply connected to your Jewish community and your role in Tikkun Olam. I can't wait to see how you change the world. I love you fiercely.
All right, yeah, getting serious. Okay. Dear Hannah, you were born with natural gifts. Mommy and I joke that 2 words seem to show up on almost all your report card narratives: insightful and delightful. You impress me by being so perceptive. You notice lots of things that I wouldn't expect from someone of your age, whether it's about TV show plots, baking recipes, or beauty products during our trips to Sephora. And just the other day when we were driving together, you pointed out that I mistakenly was in the turning lane even before I noticed it. You are a pleasure to be around. You are effortless with your compliments, and you're engaging, often asking people, including me, what they had for lunch or what streaming shows they're watching. Your laugh is contagious, and you have a way of showing joy during the activities you love, from performing at dance competitions to your excitement when we explore a new vacation rental. And I told Sadie in her speech that she was just about the best big sister that you could have dreamed of, but there's such a thing as being a great little sister, too. Some little sisters or siblings act as pests, for whatever reason, bugging and nudging their older sisters. But I have literally never seen this behavior from you, not a single hair pulled, arm scratched, or stupid head called. And like Mommy said, seeing you guys interact together is one of the greatest joys that I have. And besides these qualities that seem to come natural to you, you also strive to improve yourself, from working on the mini crossword with me to experimenting with different hairstyles and hair care techniques on your own. And of course, our latest activity, besides practicing the daddy-daughter dance together, both of us have been learning a new sport, volleyball. Like you said, bopping the ball back and forth in the backyard in the evening times usually. And I know there's even been a few evenings where after a full day of school, you've had volleyball practice, Hebrew study, and dance team back to back to back. Now that's dedication. So Hannah, my wish for you is to take your wealth of natural abilities and use them to their fullest potential, but also keep learning and practicing, all the while keeping your Jewish values and your family wisdom at heart. And I look forward to watching you continue to grow into an insightful, delightful, and inspiring adult. Love you, Dad.
You can clap, it's fine. Stay up here, guys. Yes, okay. All right, and if Sadie will come join us up here as well, we're going to rise for Aleinu L'Shabeach as we begin to conclude our service. Turn to page 46, please. It is not on, but I can turn it on. And then Mom, Dad, and Sadie, if you guys will go open the ark doors. Go ahead.
Should I start?
1, 2, 3.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latex gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzon, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei melech malchei hamachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. With our ark doors closed, you may be seated. So friends, we'll conclude our Shabbat service this afternoon as we do all services, which is to remember to take time to think about loved ones who have died in recent days or in seasons past. I know the family's especially thinking of Harold Bernath, Carol Peterson, and Talia Ahava Shapiro. And we imagine all loved ones in this moment at their best. We imagine their energy in this space, that they are so very proud to be surrounding all of you in this moment. And we remember them. And so if you are in the first 30 days, Shloshim period, mourning the loss of a loved one, I invite you to rise so we can recognize you. If you're in the first year, Yud Bet, mourning the loss of a loved one, to rise so we can recognize you and remain standing. If on this Shabbat you're commemorating a yahrzeit, a death anniversary of a loved one, to rise so we can recognize you. And if it's your custom to rise for Mourner's Kaddish, as we do here at Temple Emanu-El, you may rise at this time. Words of Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 48. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'galal v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Leolam Olmei Amaya. Yitbarach Vishtabach Vitpa'ar Vitromam Vitnase. Vitadar Vitale Vitalal Shmei Kudasha Barichu. Le'ela Minkol Birchata Vashirata. Tushbechata Venechemata. Damiran Be'alma Vimru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Vimru. Amen. Osei Shalom Bimromav, Uyasei Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Bimru. Amen.
Osei Shalom Bimromav, Uyasei Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Bimru. Amen. Osei Shalom Bimromav, Uyasei Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Amen.
Those who are seated, if you will rise, we'll transition in just a moment to our Havdalah service. That is our service of separation, moving from Shabbat into the rest of the week. And so after we conclude that, the kids, you guys will go through the lobby and around into the social hall, and adults, you'll hang out in our lobby. But first, Havdalah, pages 50 and 51. Come on, fam. We will light our beautiful Havdalah candle that is braided and meant to tie us back into Shabbat. It's like a little send-off into the week, and it becomes this torch of light.
Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafen Borei peri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei minei v'samim Borei minei v'samim Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei meorei ha'esh Borei meorei ha'esh Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol
And then extinguishing the cup. Nice.
Hamavdil ben kodesh lechol Chatoteinu yimchol Zareinu v'chaspenu yarbe kachol V'cha kochavim balayla Eliyahu hanavi Eliyahu hatishbi Eliyahu Eliyahu hagiladi Bimhera ve'yameinu Yavo eleinu Mashiach ben David Mashiach ben David Simen tov u'mazlo tov u'mazlo tov Simen tov u'mazlo tov u'mazlo tov Simen tov u'mazlo tov u'mazlo tov Simen tov Yehelanu 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 U'lechol Yisrael Yehelanu Yehelanu U'lechol Yisrael Yehelanu Yehelanu U'lechol Yisrael Yehelanu Yehelanu U'lechol Yisrael
Mazel tov and Shavua tov, everybody. Shavua tov. Head to the party.